it's Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com, and today I have a fun project. I'm using some of my very favorite products from Scrappy Tails Crafts today, and the first one I'm using here is Layering Daisies dies. I've already cut these out with some watercolor paper, and I'm going to be using these watercolor brush markers to give them some really fun, vibrant colors. These are from Altenew, and I am just choosing some of my favorite colors and some of my mom's favorite colors to create some beautiful daisies. Now these are going to turn out a little bit messy at first, but I don't want you to be scared because once these come out, they turn out to be really beautiful, vibrant, fun flowers. So I'm just starting off with some light green here, and you'll notice that I've kept these in the watercolor paper, and I find it so much easier to watercolor images like this when they are in the paper still, so you don't have just pieces of die cuts floating around. So I really like doing this, and also when you cut them out first, it gives you a spot to focus on when you're coloring. So for these, I have two different colors of green. I chose the lighter color green, and now I'm adding just some accents with the darker color of green. And I like to blend these through with a little bit of water also. So you'll see that I'm going to use the pens directly, and then I'll blend them out and use some water as well. Now on the flowers, I decided that I wanted to start with a little bit of water, and I found that I didn't love this as much. The water really dilutes these colors, and so I found that I had to go over this over and over again to get the bright, vibrant color I was looking for. So I would probably recommend not starting with water, and that's what I do on the rest of the flowers. But I left this in just to show you what happens when you do it with water first. You actually can try any way you want, but I found the easiest way was just like this. Brush on some color, blend it out with water. And just a little bit of water, not a lot. Now this is super simple technique that anybody can do, even if you're not comfortable with watercoloring. These brush markers have so much pigment in them that you just get a really great result every time without having to know a lot of techniques. So just brush the color on. I'm going to show you one more time here. Brush the color on, blend it out just a touch with water, and see what you get. All I'm going to do is just the exact same thing that I showed you here. I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit, but you notice that this looks a little like a hot mess. And I'm showing you because in the end, it turns out fun. It turns out pretty. And it is a great idea to let it dry all on its own so you get some natural watercolor looks. But if you do get a little impatient like I do, then you can use your heat tool to help speed the process along. When your watercolor brush markers come, they have this little yellow ring on it, and it's very simple. You just unscrew it, take that ring off, and then these brush markers are ready to use. For the centers, I used that yellow and it was way too bright, so I'm adding a little bit of the brown as well. I'm going to blend those out, and that's going to be the center of the flowers. I don't know if you can tell in the video. I lost a piece there, right there. I'm still going to try to get that one painted here. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but those are the centers of the flowers. And so we'll be adding those in just a minute. So I'm just going to skip forward and I'll show you how these turn out. And I do end up painting the other flowers as well. So for these ones, I just sped along the drying process with my heat tool, and now I'm going to take these out of the paper here so you can kind of see what a fun look we get. It's a real natural watercolor look with these brush markers, but still so bright and fun. Lots of lights and dark areas. They just turn out so pretty and fun. Now these Layering Daisy dies are also really fun to color up with Copics or ink blend some ink onto them. This is just another idea for you to give a try because I like the way these turn out as well. So fun, so pretty, and really easy to do. Just don't think about it too much. That was the one piece of advice I had to keep giving myself as well. For my background piece for this card today, I have already done some embossing paste, and I've mixed it with one of those same colors that I colored the leaves in, and then I put it over a dot stencil and allowed that to dry. I didn't show you that in this video because that took quite some time. I let it dry for a few days actually. So now I'm just going to start arranging the flowers how I think that I want them. And I changed my mind again, which is something that I do quite often when I'm making cards. But look how fun these daisies look on that background. It's a really fun look. I decided I'm going to go ahead and use one of these circle sentiment dies, also from Scrappy Tails Crafts, and I'm going to arrange the flowers all around the outside. I think that's going to turn out beautifully, but I'm going to need a few more flowers to do that. So I painted up the other page of flowers, and now I have enough to make 2 separate cards. So I'm going to go ahead and put these cards together very quickly and just show you all of my process here with the beautiful You Are Beautiful die. This is one of my favorites, by the way. I die cut the top layer in some gold glitter paper, and now I'm placing it over a white cardstock so that just to build that up a little, we're going to get a little dimension on this one. You don't have to do this, but I do like the look when you build it up a little bit. So that's going to go right here on this background. And this background is another one I had ready and waiting for me. So I'm not showing you the background technique on this in this video, but I did that with a gel press. Really fun inking. I should mention that You Are Beautiful circle sentiment die is an incentive die right now. So with a qualifying order, you get that one for free. So that's kind of exciting and really fun. I'm just going to place down all these flowers now using some liquid adhesive, and then I put that hummingbird. By the way, that hummingbird is from the Mama Birds stamp set, another one of my favorites. My mom loves hummingbirds, by the way. It's her favorite bird. So I had to, of course, get that one. But I ended up cutting off the excess of the leaves and stems, and then I'm using one of the extra ones here to act as the stem for that flower there on the bottom. So that card is going to be ready to put together, and you can see here that there is a little bit of flower sticking off the right side. I'll show you in a minute. I couldn't bear to cut that off. For the second one, I'm using the I Love You Mom circle sentiment die. This is from the Mother's Day circle sentiment set. It is beautiful. There's another one that says Happy Mother's Day. These are perfect. I love the look of these. So I added a little bit of a shadow with a darker green background on this one, and I used a light yellow glitter paper for this. That's going to go in the center. So that yellow just kind of mimics the yellow in the center of the flowers. So I really like that. Now some of these flowers I built up using a couple layers of the flowers. So you're going to see as I glue these down, some of them are taller, some of them are shorter. I wanted to give this card some extra dimension, and that is one really easy way. Just die cut a few extra of the daisies and build them up. So there we are. I built that frame out of daisies, and now we're going to cut off all the extra that are hanging off the edge here. And I just do that by turning it over, taking my small scissors, and cutting off the excess. Some of these are a little bit harder to cut than others because they are thicker. As I mentioned, I built these up. Now that you have extra of these petals and things, you can use them for any areas that are empty. So I am going to add one right here and a few others, and that's all it's going to take to finish this card. There we go. And now we'll just add it to a top folding, really nice, thick weight card base. And I just like to use my liquid adhesive for that. It gives me a little wiggle room to put that on straight. And I'll add my acrylic blocks to the top while that is drying. And now I'm going to put my other one together here. There we go. And look at these. We've got 2 beautiful cards, all using some watercolor daisies. You'll notice I use mostly purple on the one on the right, and then all of the colors on the one on the left. These are my mom's favorite colors, so I thought it was appropriate. See, there's that one. I just couldn't bear to cut that off. I might cut that off later. Let me know what you think. Would you do it? Let me know in the comments below. So this one has a really fun embossed background using that embossing paste. And there you go. Couple of card ideas using the Layering Daisies set from Scrappy Tails Crafts. If you're interested in any of these products, I will have them linked below in the description so you can go check them out. Thank you so much for stopping by today and joining me. I really love it when you stop by. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. And I will see you real soon with more card inspiration. Bye-bye.